Sorry about that. I am here at the Sault Ste. Marie True North homeschool or homesteading conference, and I have been having a so here's just so you can see here. It's good. It's a good turnout. I've been having a conversation with Sarah, who's a corrections officer in Michigan. And I think that what she's been telling me, I think everybody needs to know about Michigan. But this is kind of an aspect of the transgender debate that I haven't seen raised anywhere else, and it's how this affects corrections officers within, especially female corrections officers within the prison system. And so Sarah's going to talk about this. And let's see.
Hi.
So. Here, up north, this is Sarah. One of the things I found north is that the reception's not that great. So, so we're gonna, Sarah, tell me what was before this transgender thing started going through. What, especially in relation to strip searches, which is something that obviously prison corrections officers sometimes need to engage in. You work at an all-male prison,
yeah.
And so what was the protocol prior for performing strip searches for women correction officers, and how?
So for female officers, what would happen under only extreme extenuating circumstances would be we would be present for a strip search. For an example would be if we had a strip search male prisoner, and my male partner would actually conduct the strip search. I would be in the area, but I would not be in direct eyesight of the prisoner. I would be there for security purposes and to make sure my partner was safe during the strip search, but I wouldn't be in direct eyesight of the inmate. And that was out of integrity for myself and for the inmate. If I was a supervisor, as a female supervisors, they might be present for strip searches where they would be present but not conducting the strip search. The male officers would still conduct the strip searches, and that was just a safeguard for everybody involved.
So, and then now what we've seen though is there have been some changes.
A lot of changes.
And so what are some of the changes?
So there was policies put in place for all staff, as a matter of fact, in regards to you couldn't imitate a member of the opposite sex. So there couldn't be a male prisoner dressed as a woman trying to imitate us as female staff, which would be degrading, harassing, and also puts a safety standard for that inmate in particular, also because of the volatile living situation that they live in
within the prison
system. Yeah, so it's a whole different world in there.
Sure.
And
so now they're allowed to.
So now they're allowed to wear makeup, which is an introduction of makeup into, now they can purchase makeup, and that opens up opportunities for introduction of contraband into the system, because drugs can be put into a powder form, a liquid form, and then brought in through our store.
So, and you've already been having problems with drugs just
That's a major
brought in paper.
On paper,
like that.
Yeah, where they manipulate paper and they spray chemicals onto paper. And then we have several incidences of overdoses or effects of illegal substances where they become volatile, or we're trying to save their lives.
So that just the potential to bring that in and makeup, it's just so much easier. So they actually, they've been manipulating paper so that you could dissolve it or something, and then it becomes drugs. So they're actually embedding, going to that much work, making something that appears to be makeup
Yes.
being drugs. That would just be so much easier.
So now the state is allowing males and only in the male prisons, not the female prisons, are these changes being made. So I'm not sure if they were allowed makeup in the women's prison, but men were never allowed to wear makeup. It was actually a rule violation. They did away with all the safeguards for those rule violations, where they can now wear makeup, change their appearance. They no longer look like their ID. And
you said get women's underwear.
they can now order women's underwear. So these are individuals that have fetishes, crimes, sexual crimes, and now they can wear or order
Yeah.
underwear and force another, which is called pressing, press another inmate into wearing women's underwear, women's bras.
Oh my gosh, this is horrifying. So, you can see how the potential problems there would just be enormous. So but what's even more, I think, horrifying is the impact on female corrections officers.
So what's going to happen now is they had implemented training and try to force us into training where women are now going to be obligated to strip search men who will identify as women. And before there was safeguards put in place, now we're going to be forced to do it, or we face disciplinary action up to termination. I'm 17 years in the department, and I will lose my job if I refuse to strip search an inmate at the inmate's request. So how it'll work is that the inmate will come in and they'll say they identify as a female. And this is not with any kind of medical backing. It'll just simply, they fill out a form, state they feel that they now identify as a woman. Then our administration will interview that individual, make a decision whether or not they're going to allow that. And then once that happens, if that inmate ever needs to be strip searched, rather than just being strip searched by a male officer, he can request that a female do it, and then I will be obligated to do it or face disciplinary action up to termination. I can lose my job.
This is absolutely horrible. So they actually, a prisoner, a male prisoner, can say, I'm a woman today. I need a woman to strip search me.
Yes.
And then they would then force you to do so.
Yes.
And if you don't, you'll lose your job.
I can lose my job.
And have you seen female correction officers actually been forced to?
Not at my facility. We took a stand. It was mainly the older senior female officers that took the hardest stand, because we've seen a lot. We've never seen anything that actually put us at risk, willingly put us at risk. And unfortunately, the female staff feel like they've just started this job. What say do they have? They don't have much of a say. But so far at my facility, anybody has not been subjected to it.
So, Sarah, I really applaud your courage in coming forward with this, because this is something you even potentially could be risking your job in speaking out about this.
Absolutely, I'm at risk of losing my job just talking about it.
Right. So, so this is something that, and this is because of Gretchen Whitmer. This is a direct Gretchen Whitmer.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. This administration has made our job across the board, male or females, just extremely dangerous. It's the whole administration.
Sarah, I'm really sorry.
Thank you.
And so, we just get this word out. This is something that, talk to your state Congress people about it. Republican or Democrat. This is not okay. This is our corrections officers need to be protected. This is not okay. So speak to your state house, your state representatives, speak to, anyone you can within the administration, the Whitmer administration. The Attorney General's office also needs to know that this is just not okay. So share this video, share this message, pray for Sarah. I will be praying for you.
Thank you.
And so thank you very much for sharing this story.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you getting it out there.